Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mind of Amanda Marie. Today we're going to talk about 5 habits that help to spark your creativity and keep you motivated. Habit number 1, you've heard me talk about this one before, which is journaling. Taking just 10 minutes a day to jot down your ideas, thoughts, and feelings can really help to declutter your mind, to help spark creativity and let you get right into the flow of a practice. It's a great way to reflect on your experiences and set intentions for the day ahead or for the task ahead. Plus, you might discover patterns in your thoughts that can help you grow as a person. Oftentimes, I will engage in stream of consciousness style journaling before diving into something like creative writing or traditional art as a way to clear my mind. Stream of consciousness is exactly what it sounds like. You essentially just sit down and write exactly what's on your mind. Oftentimes, it doesn't even make sense. It's just a way to kind of clear the cobwebs so that you can dive into the activity that you want to get into with a clear head. Habit number 2, embracing your own curiosity. Don't be afraid to ask questions and explore new interests. Whether it's picking up a new hobby, visiting a museum, or even just taking a different route on your regular walk home or walk to work. These experiences can stimulate a different thought pattern, which ultimately means that you can spark new ideas for creativity. Oftentimes, those changes in my own routine can absolutely spark new ideas for things like creative writing, or even allow me to capture really good reference images when I'm walking around the neighborhood, or when I, for instance, maybe take a day trip to a museum just to do something different, to explore that creativity, to learn something new and reinforce an existing habit like drawing. In fact, going to a museum specifically is a great way to practice your art because it gives you an opportunity to draw from life. Habit number 3 is scheduling time for yourself. Schedule some time each day to be creative in some way, shape, or form. This could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever you have time for. But whatever you do, make sure you do schedule time for you. This time that you schedule for yourself, it doesn't have to be about producing an outcome of some specific nature. It could literally just be sit down and put some brush to paper to explore color. It could be as simple as I'm going to thumbnail this idea or I'm going to jot down an idea for writing. It doesn't have to produce a final work of art. Just sit down, take the time for yourself, and make sure you're doing this regularly so that you can keep that creative juice flowing. One of the reasons this made the list is because I hear from a lot of individuals that the reason they don't pursue things like traditional art or writing is because they don't have the time. You have to make the time for these types of habits and hobbies if you're going to pursue them realistically. So therefore, again, even if it's only 5 minutes in your very busy day, that's 5 minutes that you didn't dedicate otherwise. So make sure to schedule time for you and the things that you're most interested in. The 4th habit on our list is mindfulness. Take a few minutes each day to be present in the moment. This is actually a lot harder than you might think. I often struggle with this myself. You can do this through something like meditation or deep breathing, or you could even simply just enjoy a cup of coffee or tea and stare out the window. Whatever method works for you to be present of mind in the moment, make sure you're doing that at least once a day. Mindfulness helps to reduce stress and opens up space for creative thinking. In fact, a lot of the times in those mindful moments, I sort of have an aha type of moment. In the morning, one of my favorite things to do is to sit down with a cup of coffee and essentially stare off into space. But one of the reasons that helps me is because normally I view something in my space that I want to draw, or perhaps maybe it just sparked an idea or a prompt in my mind of something. How would I describe this thing in writing? Or how would I break this or reverse engineer this image in front of me to paint that? And so what'll happen sometimes in those moments where I'm being present and I'm observing an object or observing a view and I'm trying to really be there with that thing, it helps me to understand that thing, and ultimately it will feed some of that creative thought process. The last thing on the list, arguably the most important thing on the list, is taking breaks. It might sound counterintuitive to say, hey, pause what you're doing and go do something else when I've just told you to go be mindful about all of your practices. But the reality of it is that if you don't let your mind rest, you're going to end up burning yourself out. So it's important, especially during long-term projects with, let's say you had several hours of writing that day, you got to stop. One, you got to get up and stretch. You got to get your blood flowing. And another is that you really need to come away from the project, allow yourself to gain a new perspective and come back to the project later on, giving yourself that mental break and that physical break, especially if you are a person doing traditional art or writing where you're sitting kind of in one attitude for a long period of time, really important to walk away. So make sure that you are in fact taking breaks. So there you have it. 5 creative habits that can help you stimulate creativity in your life and consistently grow as a creative individual. Start small and choose 1 or 2 of these things to incorporate in your daily routine. I would encourage that you prioritize something like taking breaks, just again because it's one of the more important ones. Keep track of how this will actually change and transform your creative process. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and comment below with one of your favorite creative activities and some of the habits that you use to keep yourself motivated. Until next time, keep creating and stay inspired.